I think we're live now. What a safe world we live in today, right? So we've got a day of jihad today, and yeah, wonderful, isn't it? Just wonderful. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to go pick up a hopper trailer. A hopper trailer. It's a 43-foot Trail King hopper trailer. I don't know how heavy it is. It might even be steel. I'm getting it from a local, it's Hail Trailer Brake and Wheel. They have a rental department. For $1,500 a month to rent a hopper trailer and 7 cents a mile trailer. If I put 20,000 miles on it, which I suppose I will in the next couple of months, even if I just use it to bring the damn corn home from the field, if I got it, but I won't be. We'll be running dry corn, wet corn, all kinds of corn. I'll be money ahead. To buy a trailer now, it's like $100,000. A good brand new, say Wilson. I don't know about Trail King. This one's worth $37,000. I think it's 2012 model. And you just don't know what kind of shape it's in. I mean, they can't put a trailer on the road that's junk, but yeah, it's got to be good to do that. But I need a hopper trailer along with a walking floor to move grain, and that's just a fact. It has to be. It just has to happen. And that's just to get just to get rid of this corn, because I got 1,300 acres of corn. I'll have this truck running, I'll have my truck running, and I'll have Steve running. So we'll be able to really get rid of some corn. I'm not doing 4,000 acres of hay. It's just not happening anymore. There's just, to this point, to replace the hay equipment with the price that I'm getting for mulch hay. Mulch hay has not kept up with the cost of producing it. And there's a lot of farmers out there that haven't figured that out yet. And of course, I will make that a minority eventually, in the next 2 years. The way I see it, in the next 2 years, I will make the hay business a minority process on the farm. If I do go back into hay, it'll probably be in the more quality hay markets, like an alfalfa orchard, alfalfa Timothy mix, and seriously considering that now for the next, in the upcoming months. There's enough hay jockeys local that don't produce a quality anything. It's just whatever grows in the field. They don't know how to plant. It's not that they don't know how, they just don't feel the need to plant a single species of hay or a multiple species, a nice mix of alfalfa or even clover Timothy, clover and orchard grass. A clover orchard grass would make a real nice mix, but the alfalfa is what most people that are producing milk, beef, or even horses really kind of like. So that's the direction that I would be heading. We'll see how the grain markets go. I got that combine so cheap that it's not like it was a huge investment. It was only a little more than $100,000 for the 2 units. I'm looking at a 30-foot grain platform for around $12,000. I don't care if it's 10 years old. Anything's better than what I've been running. My grain head for the TR96 is like a 1994, so 1994. The grain, or the combine, the TR96 is a 1991 model. So those won't they're not even going to be used this year on anything that I have. I mean, I got to get rye out of that combine and get it cleaned and ready to go. Get it cleaned and ready to go to on the field as soon as this corn starts coming off. I got wheat that I'm going to put in. I'm hoping I can get 150 acres off or 200 acres off pretty quickly. I don't want to do any more wheat than 250 acres just because to me it's 250 acres of wheat, and I don't know. I mean, I'll probably put beans in behind it depending on the weather, but you can't count on that stuff. You can't count on the weather. It's just one of those things. Is the weather going to be in your favor or not? Here in New Jersey, I know there's a lot of people that ask me relentlessly, are you going to irrigate? Oh, no. New Jersey, you can't irrigate here, not at least this part of the state. Down South Jersey, you can pretty easily, but there's a lot of places you just can't irrigate. It's not going to happen. Horse people. I don't want to deal with horse people. I will not deal with horse people. I will take that. If I produce, well, I won't do idiot blocks. If I do idiot block, if you see me doing idiot blocks, I don't know that that's something that I'm really even interested in doing anymore. It doesn't make sense to do it for me. If I do idiot blocks, it'll be on a very small scale. I may do idiot blocks. I'm not sure. I mean, if I do idiot blocks, it'll be all mechanical. I will buy a Stefan accumulator and then, go that route so that I'm not constantly dealing with I'm not dealing with kicker wagons and stuff like that. And putting it in a building, putting it in the old barn to take it out again, it's kind of silly. But it wouldn't be terrible to put it in a barn if I had two elevators. A mow elevator and an elevator that goes out the floor of the barn so that you can just, send it. And as you work your way down, two people could load and unload. But still, it's retarded to do that. I would definitely just go the route of mechanical. That's it. But the cost or the price difference between large square bales and little idiot blocks, so much faster to do large squares over idiot blocks, idiot bricks. It just is. And I'm going the back way up here. I should have went across the Milford Bridge and went that way, but we're just the mushroom barns. In my opinion, the mushroom barns should from now on only be treated as a secondary outlet. And it's a shame because I based my business for 25 years off of the mushroom barns. Corn and soybeans for years were just a secondary business. It was, we do a couple hundred acres of corn and a couple hundred acres of soybeans, and if that was still the case, I would have never bought a new combine. It just wouldn't have been feasible to do it. So what I'm looking at now is to actually take the corn to 2,000 acres and beans to 1,000, wheat to 500, and then I will, rotate again. Would that be the rotation? Where I put the wheat, then I'll put a cover. And I'm going to have cover crops flown onto the soybeans and the corn. So that's just where that's going to go. It has to go that route. Crimson clover, annual rye, and cereal rye on soybeans, then turn around and put on corn, do a multi-species as well. Crimson, tillage radish, and something else, just to keep a living root in the ground, keep that ground covered, and start building organic matter. Keep that organic matter going. Tillage radish, in my opinion, is probably the best way to get a good amount of organic matter into the ground and pull up nutrients that are deep, zinc and boron and things like that. Just really need to get that up there, sweeten the soil. When you levels or high levels of calcium carbonate in your soils, then you will start to get acidic soil. You don't want acidic soil. Acidic soil depletes organic matter because the biology in the soil can't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't thrive well. So high levels of residue is a sign. So if you take, I'm not going to tell everybody what to do with themselves, but if you take a field of corn that produces, let's say, your average yield, whatever your average yield is. Some places in the country, they like to do 250 bushel average yields. Great, excellent, good for them. I would like to do that here, but it's not feasible for me to ever get well, I wouldn't say ever. I'm just saying that to get a 250 bushel average in New Jersey, it would be very difficult. Over thousands of acres, just very difficult. So if you're in New Jersey, you'll understand it. The soils here, we have shale. They're shallow soils. They don't go deep. The organic levels, because we've been farming in New Jersey for longer than anybody in the Midwest. It's just a fact. The Europeans started settling here in the 1500s, really heavily in the 15 and 1600s. So if you understand that, then you'll know that the soils here are beat up. They're just beat up. Now we can bring them back, and I have every intention of bringing back organic matter, organic levels up into at least 5 to 10%. If I could get 5 to 10% organic matter on these fields, life would be quite good. And I can't read what you're all writing. I'm sorry that I can't. I'm driving, I'm hands-free, but still, I'm driving, and I don't want to cause any issues for other people. It looks like somebody's done some field prep up there. But there's some nice corn here. I got a friend of mine. He farms up here. We're not close friends, but I would say that we're friends. He doesn't bother me, and I don't bother him. And if there's a piece of property that's up for rent, I call him up and ask him if he's honest. He's not going to lie to me. I'll ask him flat out, hey, are you looking at renting this piece of ground? Because if you are, then I'll bow out. And he gives me the same courtesy, which is nice, It's quite nice. You have to do that. Because you know what? If you don't, you just create enemies. Enemies, my friend, enemies. And we don't want enemies in this business. There's enough turmoil in the world. We don't need to add to it. We just don't. So my corn is probably, I want to say, I can be harvesting in the next week if everything goes the way I'd like it to go. If I'm not able to harvest in the next week, it's fine. I've got hay to make yet. My problem is that nobody's paying anything. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm not getting paid. I sold the wheat, and the mill that bought the wheat, they have a delay in their payment, and the other mill has a delay in their payment. So it's just a matter of, I'm going to get on here, I think. Each mill is, they withhold, and then you got to wait another few days or a week for the next mill, the mill that you sold it through. So it's like this, oh, we need this. And then I got to wait forever. But the mill that I sold it to, 21 days. It's 21 days before they'll, oh shit, is that damn thing open? Oh, it is open. If that's the case, I guess I'm gonna sit here and go across that fucking scale. Guys are blowing right past it. Honestly, it says it's not open. Fuck it. Oh, it's closed. It says it's closed. Oh, I guess I forgot about you guys. We were dealing with that damn scale. And it went on and went off. I had to pay attention to that, so sorry about that. Anyways, I should probably just shut that off. Yeah. It's such a clusterfuck up here when they do that. They turn that scale on and everybody goes nuts. Trucks pass it, then it gets the DOT all pissed off, and they go and chase them down. And you'll see up here, they'll be up the road up here. I don't have a trailer on. I'm going to pick up a trailer. That's what I'm up to. This truck right now is getting 6.1 miles to the gallon. That's its average. I like this Volvo. It's a bit bumpy without a trailer onto her, but this thing needs a bath too. I'll get Timothy to wash it. But I think he's at a wedding today. Matter of fact, I know he's at a wedding today or tomorrow. Maybe it's tomorrow, I don't know. Got some shit going on. Kind of sad, but it's the life I live when it comes to this stuff that I can't talk about. This thing's cruise control only does 65. The truck will do, I swear, 125, but these roads are so rough. Welcome to New Jersey roads. Wait till we get to Pennsylvania. That's way worse. Pennsylvania is notorious for having the shittiest roads on the planet. In the Union, anyway. I don't know what this guy behind me thinks he's going to do. I can't go any faster than the dude in front of me. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to be running these roads an awful lot in the next few weeks. Which is fine. Oh my god. That guy's just effing crazy. I'll move over if you want. You ain't going to go any faster because you know that you're only going to catch up to the guy in front of you. I swear to God, these people. Truck drivers sometimes are dumber than a box of rocks. Sometimes. I gotta go You get in trouble for speeding in a commercial vehicle. You get caught speeding in a commercial vehicle. It's points. It's a lot of points. It's not even funny what they'll do to you. And the cost is insane. Insane. Maybe I should have went up that way. Would have missed those miserable things. And my wife and Grant are going to go bail today because I don't have the time. I got to go get this trailer. What's that say? Are you still bailing a lot of hay? Yeah, we bailed last night until, I don't know what time. We bailed last night until maybe 8 o'clock. Just about done, and they're going to finish up today with what I've got on the ground, but we've got an inch and a half of rain coming at us. At least that's what they're claiming now, so that kind of puts a damper on the pamper, and I got a lot of ground that needs to get made yet, and I still have several hundred acres of ground that needs to get made. Super trucker. That's what you call a super trucker right there. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have your truck and trailer all spiffied up. These guys, they spend so much time washing, waxing, polishing their chrome and aluminum. I think that their time would be better spent trucking. They're the kind that live in a damn trailer, but their truck is nicer than anything they got. I was watching, remember the truck makeover show years ago? And those guys, I remember seeing several of them that they had their family in the truck. That was their house. They decided to sell their house because their house was an expense that they barely used. They had 3 kids, and it was a super sleeper, almost like a motorhome on the back of it. They sold their house, they bought this super sleeper, and they were just traveling. And so in the back, the kids, the mother was homeschooling the kids, but the truck wasn't in great shape. It was, it needed, you're dragging your house all across the country. But he was a freight driver, so it didn't much matter. But the kids, they were in the back, learning, going to school, doing all that stuff, and the husband, he was driving. He'd drive for 10 hours and then go in the back and sleep or whatever he had to do to make his, so what do we got here? To make his living. And, yeah. All of a sudden the engine and transmission were bad and they needed to do a truck makeover, and they actually did a really good job. They made an area inside the sleeper, the super. It's basically a camper. I think it even had a composting toilet in it or whatever. They had all that, but they made an area inside that was really nice for the kids. Really nice for the kids to go to school, to learn in the school while they were driving. Now, I don't know. A little dangerous if you ask me. You drive down the road and you got your kids in the back of this thing, one accident or a rollover, and you got problems. And I really don't know the rules for those things, to be honest with you. I just don't. And I know that a kid needs to be secured while you're on the road. Now, we have a motorhome, and my wife will jump up, go in the back and cook. William will get out, we'll take him out of the car seat and send him into the back to go to the bathroom. A lot of times I'll pull over for that nonsense, but, what are the rules? Truck drivers are getting worse because they don't even speak English. That's why. Most of them don't. Most of them don't speak English. You get on the roads, you can't even have a CB radio on these things anymore. There's just no point. And my camera system is on, which is good. I've got a camera system in here. Actually, there's two camera systems, but I don't know, that other one, I can't seem to figure out how to get to it. But the CB radio, there's no point in even having a CB radio. What you have is these knuckleheads that sit there and make noises all day going, "Wah, wah." You ever hear those guys? Oh my God. I took the CB out of the, what did I have it in? I had it in the Mac. It was the last one I had a CB in, and the Western Star, I took it out of the, I got one for the Western Star, and it was junk. Just couldn't ever, it was junk. It never worked correctly. And then you get one for the, Jesus, road. You get one for, I got one, I haven't had anything in the Peterbilt. Peterbilt set up for it real nice. It just fit right in there. But, well, you know, there's just no information. Used to be able to talk to other drivers, and now it's, you don't even know what the fuck they're saying. So, America's lost. Years ago, when I was young, people came into the country. They became American. But somewheres in the last 40 years, they just made it so easy to come here and take your money out of here. So anybody that comes here, they come here, then they make their money. They never learn English. They go to areas where the language that's spoken is the language from their home country. And you can go into these areas, I could go into these areas and never, you wouldn't even know that you were in the United States. It's kind of sad, because people don't want to come here to become American. They want to come here and take from our country. And the politicians in Washington let them do it. I mean, they don't even follow our rules. And you see the sickness that's going on in our colleges, and it is a sickness. You know, the Palestinian-backed Hamas, or the Palestinians terrorist group Hamas, goes into Israel, rapes women in front of their husbands, and beheads their children on their social media sites. The people that are getting murdered and raped, they take their phones from them, sign into their Facebook accounts, and show the rape and murder of their children and the whole family. They do this. And these assholes at Harvard that signed a petition or a paper that they are on the side of Palestine, side with Palestine, side with Hamas. What is wrong with these people? And these are, I say, and I'm with the companies that would have hired out of that cesspool known as Harvard. They put out a message that if your name is on the list that you participated in any of these things, you will never get a job from us. Then all of a sudden, lo and behold, all these spoiled little rich fucks, they're like, oh no, I didn't know what was going on. These people have no pride in this country. And when it does, it's going to be bad. And when it does, all these people, I hope they're taking names of these protesters that are protesting in favor of Hamas here in this country, the United States of America. Take their names and bring them in for some major questioning about what they do know and what they don't know. I mean, there's a guy right there with pictures on the side of his truck of men in turbans, right? Turbans wearing on their head. Here in the United States of America. Now, I'm all for freedom of religion. That's basically why this country was founded. It freedoms for people that are oppressed and don't have the freedoms of religion and freedoms to express themselves. But there comes a point where you're expressing yourself and expressing the need to murder people. You know, if you want to go to a concert and then 8,000 miles away in California, 10,000 miles away in California, you got stupid rich little college kids it up and saying that that's okay because the Jews are oppressing the Palestinians. Well, I don't see it that way. I've seen that it was pretty much you could pass into Israel from Palestine, and if you wanted to leave Palestine, you were free to do so. If you wanted to continue to live in Palestine, that's fine too. You work there, you earn. That's fine too. You work there, you earn a living there, and then all of a sudden, your neighbor that's there, and then all of a sudden, your neighbor that's next to you, who was a member of Hamas, runs across the border, but you knew they were a member of Hamas, and you knew they were up to something for the last 2 to 3 years, 2 years, planning an attack, but you said nothing, and you're all pissed off because Israel just bombed your house and dropped everything you own into a pile of rubble. Let me tell you something. If you know there's something going on that's nefarious like that, and you don't say something to get it stopped, you're just as guilty as they are. You know, it's like there's laws against that stuff here in the United States. You cannot enable people to do nefarious stuff because then you're just as guilty. You're just as guilty. Like if you're at a party and you allow it, if you knowingly allow someone to leave your party that is intoxicated and they kill somebody or multiple people in that car or outside of that car, they kill somebody on the street, today you are liable. You're just as liable as the person that did the killing. So, and you deserve it. You deserve it. But if you are a member of the community, say you're my next door neighbor, and I'm out there and I'm building bombs and blowing up groundhogs and doing things that could potentially hurt somebody, or you know that I'm planning to go out and potentially hurt somebody, and you say nothing, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, they feel there's a terrorist threat, I'm a terrorist and I need to be taken care of, and you knew about it and your house got demolished in the aftermath of whatever it was that I was doing and you knew about it, that's for you. That's on you. Like all these Palestinians that are in there in the Gaza Strip that are whining and crying that their houses are being destroyed, their whole lives are being destroyed. Well, guess what? You knew it was there. They knew it was there. If they knew it was there, good for them. They deserve it. I wouldn't side. Now let's put it this way. If I was sitting here like I am today, and Israel went in and killed a bunch of children and raped women in front of their husbands, and then